Give thanks and praise. It's been a long, long time, but I'm back. And I'm so very grateful to be back and in a new environment, a new home, and um, in a new year. So give thanks. I see y'all coming in. Let me know where you're coming in from, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube. Let me know where you're coming in from. Uh, and let me know how the sound is. I've had to get used to getting. Oh, look at y'all! Give thanks and praise. Oh, okay. So let me get the theme song going here. I decided to use my phone. Now watch Nebin Petem. All pathways of heaven and earth are open to you. To open all doors in heaven and in earth. The powers within me to open all doors in heaven and in earth. The powers within me to open all doors in heaven and in earth. The powers within me to open all doors in heaven and in earth. I am that I am a shining being who lives in light from the limbs of the Creator. Look who, look who, Amiku, Keimam, Keperu, Natural. Brandon, it's good to see you too. Give thanks. I will open the pathways of heaven and earth. Oh, it's just saying Facebook user, Facebook user. I'm not getting the names. Thank you for the welcome. It's so good to be back. And my voice is not limited because I'm not in the other place, which was choking off my throat. Give thanks. Laura, it's good to see you. Tess, thank you for encouraging me to come back. Thank you. I tell you, your Christmas card made me cry. Abina, it's good to see you. All of the pathways of heaven and earth are open to me. All of the pathways of heaven and earth are open to me. Sing with me. All of the pathways of heaven and earth are open to me. All of the pathways of heaven and earth are open to me. Atep, I see you. Give thanks and praise. You sing. All of the pathways of heaven and earth are open to me. Give thanks and praise. Oh my goodness, it's so good to be here. It's good to see you all. And we are in 2023. Give thanks and praise. And tonight we are going over the the message of uh, Seshata. And my students who usually have their lesson on yes, give thanks and praise indeed. Indeed, it's all pathways of heaven and earth are open to us. We are here in another year, and technically speaking, our Kemetic New Year began at Wepren Put, which was at the beginning of August. But I, as I explained in the interview that I did for Brother Sean, um, let me point out to you, by the way, that there was a wonderful interview that before I get into things here, because of the fact that I've been so back and forth. Brother Sean Curry brought me back onto his Love Man podcast the other day rather, and I didn't really have a chance to promote it. I want to be able to promote it now because he's just such a wonderful host. And so let me shout that out. And it is on my Queen Mother Imakhu page on Facebook. So please, you all, check that out. And as I was explaining to him, I did not do our usual oracle reading that I do at Wepren Put because the fact that many of you know I've been out of the loop. And that's because I was in a funky space. I haven't been around because I've been trying to get my living situation straightened out because of the health crisis that I was in. Satish Yoma, how are you? Give thanks. Generally, this is the night that I'd be teaching. This is the lesson tonight. The students have already gotten the reading for this year, and it's already posted on the page. But it's been delayed because it was delayed from doing it in the beginning of August because of the health crisis that I went through. I was living in with a carbon monoxide leak. Y'all remember how it was getting more and more difficult for me to speak, to sing. That's why I had a raw sewage situation and then a carbon monoxide leak, and I couldn't figure out why it was getting so difficult for me to sing, and that's why. And so I was let out of my lease mercifully. The state of New Jersey had a vested interest in my moving. It's good to know people in high places. And so, unfortunately, I moved. I jumped from the frying pan into the fire, and moved from one situation to another where I thought it was going to get better, and instead it was worse. And so, and the state of New Jersey really had a vested interest in my moving, and they relocated me again. I found another apartment which was even better. Glorious. Y'all, I have 2 fireplaces. This is not just only one. There's another one over there. Beautiful. So I'm breathing much better. My health has greatly improved. And I'm in a different part of the city. I'm in the arts district. Everything is it's wonderful. And it's taken a long time for me to heal. I'm still going through my emotional healing because y'all know my mother died, and going through that and therapy from the whole thing about my marriage, which that's been the good thing. But still, yeah. So, but health-wise, I'm much better. Give thanks and praise. But it would not have been a good thing for me to do the reading, the oracle reading for us under those circumstances. I had to heal. If you are an oracle and you are doing the reading, then you are not the correct vessel. You're not in a place where you are receiving well. So now I've moved, and so we're going to be going over that reading tonight. Now, Seshata is considered the lamp of prophecy, the oracle of prophecy, the lamp of oracle. And, there was this little video. I hate not being able to see your names here where it just says Facebook user. But thank you so much. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you. The cute little video that I had up here for you all. I went back to using Restream. I quit Restream for a minute because the fact that they had lost a lot of their bells and whistles and the price went up. And so I was like, well, okay, I just won't use Restream. And I was trying, I was playing around with this other company, but I didn't like their quality. And so I said, well, I'll quit y'all too. So I guess a lot of people were complaining about Restream. And so I guess Restream decided they would just bring their price down and act right. So I said, okay, so I'll go back to Restream. So I'm thankful because when I signed back up, I found everything that I'd left still sitting here. So my little video that I made is still sitting here. That makes me feel good. Yes. So, yes. So just to remind you that Seshata is considered the lamp of oracle. She's known as Seshata or Seshata. Now, many people give Jehuti the credit for everything, but in truth, Seshata came first. And so there's more extensive information on the page at the website. Now, you'll notice that we went through a lot of changes. And I do want to explain something even more extensively because, last year I had a lot of time for contemplation. I had a lot of time for contemplation because I was trying to get my breathing together. Yeah. So, Brother Sean Curry is with us. Yes, give thanks and praise. I hope you heard me shout out the podcast. And who is that saying Happy New Year, Elaine Lloyd Nazario? By the end of February, I'll be back to Elaine Lloyd. Give thanks. So, where was I? So last year, I went back very heavily into Orisha tradition. Before I became Kemetic, I was practicing Isheshe. There are many different Orisha traditions. And so, who is that saying hello and hugs? Is that the same one that's saying Elaine Lloyd Nazario? Please tell me who you are. And so There is in the West African tradition, which is known as Isheshe. There is in the Cuban tradition what is known as Lukumi. There is in the Brazilian tradition Candomblé. There is okay, then why would you call me Elaine Lloyd Nazario? And here, why would you do that to me? Why? There is a 21 division, yes, Brandon, right, from which is the Dominican Orisha tradition, Orisha and Loa, right? There is there is the there is the Kimbanda and the Umbanda tradition, and there is the La Regla de Ocha, okay? And so I am I'm a practitioner of Umbanda, which also it kind of carries over into the Kimbanda Candomblé, because I'm a member of the Jero that is led by my Angelica, who is, our Tajero is Camboclo Flechero. And so anyway, I delved back into Orisha tradition, okay, which is the Brazilian, and it is our house is led by a black Brazilian high priestess. So, and I needed it. This represents my maternal grandmother's side of the family, and it fulfilled a great deal for me. And it also is very interesting because on that side, in dealing with that, they acknowledge well, actually, there are a bunch of issues. They don't just have Eshu and a Legba or a Legua. There are a bunch of issues. And one of the issues says that he was from Kemet. And he is, that's a whole story, that he is he's reincarnated. Okay. And then also there is a saint who is acknowledged, who I love. I mean, and she is La Santa Sara La Kali, yeah, and she's a black saint who was said to have attended. There are two beliefs: either she was attended to the baby Jesus, or was a child of the grown Jesus. Okay, whatever is believed, though, that she is from Kemet and traveled over, and that she's associated with who the world came to know as Jesus. Whatever the case, her energy is really something and beautiful, and she's this complexion, okay, and is fierce, okay. I mean, just really just beautiful. So, and there is a very tremendous call right now for Kemetic knowledge in Brazil right now. It's fascinating. People want Kemetic yoga. They want the Kemetic knowledge. They want all of that. There's an understanding of the the crossover, and it's interesting if you listen to Portuguese language. I mean, particularly the Black Brazilian Portuguese. It sounds a lot like the Kemetic language, if you ask me. Although I know people say, "Well, we don't know what it sounds like." Okay, when that's anyway. So, as far as my healing this year, delving into it was all healing for me because it felt like I was going home and was vitally necessary, and also was kind of a wraparound with providing information for me with the Kemetic piece, but it provided vital information for because I'm always doing research. I mean, every day I'm doing research. Okay, so but here's something else though that I came to realize regarding the water tradition. This is what all this is coming to. All right, because and blessings upon the life of Michael Ortiz Hill. If you all didn't catch it, Michael Ortiz Hill, who initiated me into the water tradition, and then afterwards I was initiated by Mandaza Kandemwa, and as far as I was concerned, my real initiation happened with Michael. But peace and blessings, Udis. Here's what I've come to realize. The water tradition is not a peacemaker tradition. It's not. And it is one that leads you to constant states of purification, yes. There is no question about that. No question. As such, you are in this constant quest of finding peace within yourself. As a high priestess in this tradition, it is my job to get you to that place of learning how to discover those places of peace within yourself. Because water is a mirror. People will find places of delusion because people want to believe in the false realities, if you will, the false depictions. People want to go only so far because the fact that water makes you work. Okay? But the truth is that water is here to make you find that peace within yourself. That's the truth. Now, let's take a look at our primary guardians. Okay? We have talked about Kenemu, all right? And for those who have studied with me, we've done a deep dive. Deep dive. And Kenemu is akin to or predated Obatala, okay, Oshala in the Brazilian traditions. And okay, we've talked about Hecate or Heket and the correlatives. All right, now. If we look at the correlatives in the Kemetic traditions, and for my students, we about to peep the next part of your lessons. All right. The warriors in the Orisha traditions, well, the correlative of Ochosi in our tradition, that would be Satet, who has the arrow. We talked about Nit, all right, but Ochosi, and then also um, Anket or Anuket. These are the water guardians. They have arrows. Okay? Let's examine this. And then we're gonna get to the oracle for the year. They have arrows. Hecate has, I talked about this last year. Hecate has a knife. She has knives. Okay? They're protectors. I was fed this whole thing about water, peacemaker, okay? We don't have this notion of our peacemakers with weapons. Here we have these hunters. In our tradition, our hunters are females. You have Nit, you have Anketit or Anuket, you have Satet. These are the hunters. They have weapons. They're the providers for the community. In order to have provisions, in order to have peace, you got to go out and kill some stuff, okay? In order for people to be peaceful, you got to go out and kill some animals and have provisions for people. And you have to protect to make sure that no evil elements will get in. Okay? Y'all following me? You have to make sure that the wrong elements are not going to get in. You have to make sure that some crazies are not going to get in. When you come in your house, you lock your door. Why? Because you want to make sure that some nuts are not going to break into your house. Yes? Some of you have weapons just to make sure that your family is protected. You hear me, Tess? Tess says, I hear you. Right? Right? You lock your windows. Some of you might be out in an area where you're cool, where you may not need to do that. But for the most part, most of us need to protect ourselves by locking the window. You lock the windows, you lock the doors. Okay? Because some people are off. Or some people are desperate because they don't have, and they're going to do whatever they need to do to get what they need or what they want or what they think they may need. All right? Our guardians, somebody said, I'm sorry, it's not showing your name, it just says Facebook user. Like a female lioness. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Check this out. Anuket or Unket, there are different ways to pronounce her name. She is a gazelle. I watched some videos about gazelles. They're small, but I've seen videos where gazelles have taken down lions because they have these horns that will gore the crap out of some lions. Okay? Those are their weapons. They know how to use them. Plus, they're swift. They're not standing there going, oh, please, Mr. Lion. Oh, please. No, they're swift. And if they have to, right? Okay. Metaphor. Listen. And in wisdom, you sit back and you look at the mistakes that you've made. Because I'm going to tell you something, and this leads to the message that we got this year, all right? Because the guardian who spoke this year in the Seshata reading was Hey Pete. And the big message was about being careful about who you let through your door, all right? I thought about all the people I made the mistake of letting in my door. This year's message, I'm going to read it. The folks that you let cross your threshold. All these people I had no business letting cross my threshold. People I let in my life who had no business being there. And then the stuff you have to untangle simply because the fact that you let them in. even though all your alarm bells were telling you don't do it. Look, my microphone got upset too. Yeah, that's right. Our primary guardians of our temple, of our water temple, which are about keeping the peace, okay? Not about sitting back and just going, oh. No, being on guard, okay? Watching out for the community. Yes, setting up provisions for the community, because that's what the hunters do. For those of you who are Orisha tradition followers, all right? And this is for all of you who are, whatever your tradition is, who is the hunter? What is the job of the hunter? The hunter watches, okay? You are on guard, you're watching, right? And then you align yourself. This is true for fishermen too. We say, way and way. I am one with the one. Way and way. One with. And the symbol for that is a harpoon. Now, we're talking about being one with the creative force, yes. But the symbol is a harpoon. You're not out there on the water just willy-nilly, just snapping at anything. No. You are aligned. Okay? Why? Because your goal is to get that, right? Why? Because you're trying to eat. And also because you're trying to feed others. Or you're trying to feed yourself, right? You have a goal. You have a goal. You're trying to get that. Now, it's the same if you have some element that has entered your community that's not supposed to be there. Okay, he got in, she got in. All right? Either they snuck in or you let them in. Now, what are you going to do? You going to let them stay? Just like you've got some critters in your house that don't belong there. You going to sit back and let them take over? No. The people that you thought were friends, that you realized don't belong there. There were some people recently, I sat back and I was just like, how did I get here? Sometimes you spend time with people just because of the fact that you nothing else better to do. You're alone, maybe even lonely. Sometimes you just, happen to be at the same place at the same time. They just kind of latch on to you, they latch on to you. After a while, it's just like, we don't even have anything in common. This person is always saying derogatory things to me. This person always finds a way to just say nasty things. months ago, my therapist said to me, Elaine, you have a lot of people who just always do, who are, how did I actually put it? You have a lot of people who are very mean to you. It's time to clean house. And that's bad because your therapist usually does not tell you it's time to just take action. You know, one after the other, after the other, after the other, especially because I was in a place of brokenness. And when you have people who just are so happy about the fact that you're broken and they're just constantly just coming in and just, So here's the really wonderful thing about the guardians of our temple. When you tap into that energy, okay, they build up your courage. Yeah. And this is all in the new book. Because I had to tap into that. Yeah. Being told this whole thing about, oh, you're peaceful and blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. I remember last year, I'm in this Uber and I'm just kind of sitting there and I was on my way somewhere to go and handle something for somebody who had just passed away. And I was just in this really just broken, passive state. And I'm telling this woman everything I'm going through with this one particular thing, you know, and she was just like, no, you can't take that. Don't take that. Don't put up with that. Don't put Listen, she wrote down the name of this divorce attorney for me. She was like, hey, you gotta wake up, wake up, wake up. She said, you gotta get angry, get angry, get angry. And I'm just like this. She was like, listen, wait, get angry, get angry. And I was just like, no, I'm okay. She was like, take my phone number, take my. Just. This one was a perfect stranger to me. You know, I could tell she just wanted to grab me and just shake me like because sometimes you just get so worn down with other people's garbage where you just feel like you've just been hammered down into the floor, you know? But you can get up. Sometimes it just takes a minute. Sometimes it takes moving out of your house, you know. Ted says no one should ever, they ought to know if they're in the your huntress with aid. Peace Rain, how are you? Yeah, I'm telling you, I look back. I look back. I'm just really, you know, sometimes you really just need for somebody to just like, you know, just Anket, bow and arrow. Satet, bow and arrow. Heket, she has a knife. And they are all with canoe. And they're all water guardians, protectors. And the first thing you must fight for is yourself. 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 You cannot have peace if you cannot fight for yourself. Let's look at this year's reading. If you go to najem.org, and they all fight for justice. Heket or Hekatit, she fights for the mind. Okay? She has the well, you know what? Sign up for class. Sign up for class and you'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot. Okay. Jim.org. And then if you go to how's everybody doing? Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. By the way, Meru refers to waters, and Najem refers to sweetness, but it also refers to restoration. It refers to the healing that you go through in order to become sound again. Okay. I should also tell you, I had a wonderful conversation today with Dr. Happy, who is the original founder of Kemetic Yoga. You know, there are different forms of Kemetic Yoga out there, but this is the elder who was the founder of it back in the 70s. And he called me today because I was moderator of a film regarding the history of Kemetic Yoga, and this was last week. And so he called today because I had told him I wanted to speak to him at the end of the film. And so I put the word out there, please, somebody connect me with him. And so he contacted me today. He said, no, I wanted to talk to you because I really appreciate everything that you've done to propel Kemetic Yoga forward with all the research that you have done. He said, I need to connect with you because he has done all this work with breath work. And so he wanted us to combine forces, which was an honor. Listen, for me to even speak to him, because I said, my elder told me about you. I've been trying to get with you. And so I just wanted to tell you all what an honor it was to finally meet him. Wow. Okay, so now if you go to, let me see where, about the ceremony. Let me see what page it's going to be on. Oh gosh, trying to. Oh, it's the shots letter. Okay, okay. So now, where it says, we believe that Oracle is how African creative forces, our ancestors, and other vital spiritual voices communicate with us. So, Oracle is a part of all indigenous um, faith practitioners' lives. For those of us who have reclaimed the ways of our ancestors, this is this is whether we use cards, sticks, stones. This is who we are. This is what we do. Um, it's an agreed upon system. Whether we agree to communicate by way of or the way of we're throwing a shoe in the way it lands. Okay, but it's this is this is this is what we do. Ideally, it's said that we should become our own living oracles, and also it was understood that the women tended to be more sensitive uh, toward that. So comes also in the form of dreams and visions. So um, it is not uncommon for ancestors and Nechalu like Kenemu and Osset to bring messages through dreams. Others use signs and symbols. The official tangible oracle system of Shenu Najem Kemetic Yoga Temple is governed by Seshat, Mother of Mysteries. She is the equivalent of the African Orisha Orunmila. Seshata, designer of schematics, mysteries, systems, metaphysics, medicines, mathematics, ecology, astronomy, astrology, arts, written communications, plans, and destinies. Seshata masters mind altering substances used to help take seekers to mastery when properly and carefully employed, or to delusion when abused. Her crown is the cannabis leaf. The idea, however, is not to need external devices to achieve altered states of higher consciousness. True ascension occurs through deep meditation and processing, high vibratory states, and the highly developed silence of the Guru or Guru. Again, this is mastery. This kind of mastery comes through severe testing of body, mind, and spirit. Do not be fooled into believing that mastery comes without struggle or severe challenges. The Shata tests the mind, intellect, psychic ability, will, and destiny on countless levels. She does not act solely from the heart. She is aware that she has a legacy to leave behind and is interested in drawing those who will help support and expand that legacy. She does not have an interest in cold hearted people, though. Cold hearted people can be selfish and unethical. Those kinds of people stand in the way of a harmonious society, which is my eight. The same for mind manipulators. Seshata does not like anything that brings harm to others when technology, science, psychology, or anything under her domain causes effect, which is evil or chaos. My eight, harmony, order, balance, justice, higher love, is Seshata's ultimate goal. She is aware of her function, is excellent, I have to rewrite that, is excellent at what she does. Her desire is to eliminate suffering. It is believed that one of her aspects or titles is Nechemet Tawit, deliverer, savior, rescuer. Nechemet Tawit rescues women and children from poverty and abuse. Seshata rescues the victimized through mind illumination, revelation, information, personal validation, and righteous vindication. Ignorance equals darkness. May we all awaken to harmonious light. The process of the Seshat letter of the year is a three-step process. First, let me say this. Now, she's associated with paper, papyrus, because Shetta was a word for the forest. Before the arid desert, the area around the Hapi, or what is now known as the Nile, was actually very lush. There were a lot of trees and bushes. The topography changed, all right? Now, in the forest, you had mist, and with a lot of trees, you could hide. And so there was mystery along with that. But she's associated with mist. And also because of the trees, you had leaves. And you had more growth again, so you had papyrus or papyri or whatever. So she was also associated with the writing the mysteries from the leaves, okay? And the same with her priesthood. So please understand that. In fact, I do have to give credit to one of my former students. Her name was Jerry Spruce, because I was trying in my research years back to find exactly what the connection was with her and the Tree of Life. When I was doing my research, was trying to find the direct correlation with her and the Tree of Life and the Kemetic runes and Odin's tree. She found the missing link that I was looking for with the connection with the leaves. But also, she is connected to the sycamore tree and the bark that comes off of it, because they also use the bark as a way of being able. They would write on the bark as well, the pieces that would come off. So I just wanted to make that clear, because we think of Kemet, we don't think of trees. But once upon a time, it was very lush. That's why she is also associated with the Tree of Life, but also with the healing properties from the trees and the bark. Okay, just so we're clear about that. But that's why. Okay, so there's a 3-step process in this whole thing with the letter of the year. Now, the letter of the year is also associated with the la letra del año, with the Orisha traditions in the Spanish-speaking cultures, in Lukumi, and also in what was known as the other tradition I can't think of right now. But anyway, this is. But doing annual oracle was something that came out of Kemetu. So we continue that tradition. So first you have the prayers and invocations, which is a multi-tiered process that we do in our Per'ankh. So, we have a description there, which includes the oracle wheel and the Shahid circle of fate. And, it's a multi-tiered process. Then invocations and the pronouncements, and then also the remedy. So you don't just say the sky is falling, what we gonna do? No, there's also the answer. There's always an answer. You can say, okay, there's a problem, this is gonna happen, but then how do we fix it? Always a remedy. Okay. So And in the finding of the solution, uh, in the Orisha tradition, there's the word, there's looking at the taboos, the things that you should not do. So in order to shift the energy, so you should not do this, you should not do this. The word for taboo or restrictions in the Kemetic tradition is hapu, hapu. All right. So, um, all right. So here's the message that came down. So who speaks this year? It is Happy, and then also with support from Seshata. She additionally speaks. Happy, the nature of the great Nile River, or he is not only the water that flows down the Nile, he is the container. Okay, so he is the bank, the river banks, but also the water. All right. So verse 72 from the Shahid Circle of Fate Oracle says, "If you partner in haste, you will be deceived." So this speaks of patience in all matters of partnership, which is consistent with Happy or Happy. Happy is depicted as a man with woman's breasts and a soft belly. So he is somewhat androgynous. He is someone who is living the good life, but he also has the Happy trait. He is a nature of offerings, but he also has this these papyrus stalks that are growing out of his head, which represents the fact that he is abundance, but the fact that they're growing from his head also indicates intelligence. He represents Aquarius. From the Dendera zodiac or astrological system that was depicted in Kemet, he represents Aquarius. So on his Hetep tablets or tray, there is the water pitcher, the kibu, and so that's coolness also. So he is somewhat aloof. He's cool. He's calm. He doesn't let things get to him. He may seem standoffish, but he's cool. But he's also thinking. He's processing. And there's also the bread, which represents abundance. There is fruits. There are offerings. So in this, this represents the fact that this is a year of offerings. This in order to remedy the fact that the energy is negative because the cowrie shell came upside down that came with this. This is going to be a year of challenge, just like a couple of years ago when this harkens to the Stella of Sahal when we got this just before COVID hit. Except then Khnum was speaking. So we know we're going to be dealing with another situation with health crises and financial crises again. However, this time it is Hapi who is speaking. And because it is the water, the very water and the riverbanks itself speaking, is saying that you must be careful and you must watch from your own, take control yourself of your finances and also who you partner with. And also because he represents portals, because he works with Anket. We talked about the fact that Anket is the hunter, and that she represents being able to be the one who gets provisions. Okay, so listen, you got to be careful to get with somebody who knows where the stuff is and who knows how to get the stuff. All right, we had a good government bailout actually during the time when COVID hit the first time. We can't depend on that this time. This time it's got to be able to it's got to be about being able to hustle ourselves and look out for ourselves. But we got to know who is the person on the low who we can connect with. However, we have to make sure that we're dealing with people who are reputable. We have to be able to flow so that we can deal with a wide variety of people, but we have to make sure we're dealing with people who are not going to have us caught out there, if you understand what I'm saying. So that we're not dealing with people who are um, you can't deal with people who are too unsavory. Okay, like you may know some people who are like on the fringe, but you can't have people who are going to end up where you're in the who's gal. You're going to end up in who's gal with them. You know what I mean? Okay, so because AP represents flow, but you can't have it where they stop your flow. Okay, you got to be really careful about how you're flowing in with who. Okay, so and again, be careful about who it is that's coming into who's coming in your gates, who's coming in and out of your door. All right. See, now already I've made some very strong decisions about who is coming in and out of my house already. You watch. All right. People will show themselves to you right quick. So already, just like, okay, you showed yourself one time, you ain't coming back here. Okay. Okay. So, as it says here, be careful about everyone you allow into your life, who you decide to partner with, and especially who crosses portals. KP carries the Hetep tablet. Be careful of those bringing gifts in the pretense of kindness, but also take note of those who have taken from you and consistently eaten from your table, but brought you nothing. They're likely to steal your recipes, spy, or tell your business behind your back in order to destroy you. Mind you, P teaches to give gifts and offerings to those who are in need. If you owe, pay. However, do not withhold if the person who owes is starving and still having difficulty. If you are holding on to bitterness, then release. Welcome joy and trust the situation will balance itself out. Listen, this is the year for straightening out stuff. I'm straightening out all my stuff, getting all my ducks in a row this year. You don't want to get caught out there, okay? I'm telling you, this is everything gets straightened out, everything, okay? You do not want to get caught out there. Tess says, you were speaking directly to me on an oracle tonight. I'll message you, okay? Okay. I'll look for that then, okay? Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm straightening out. I'm getting everything straightened out. I'm telling you, I was just saying yesterday to a friend, I'm going through everything. People I owe money to, people I owe this to, people I owe everything, especially now that I've moved, straightening out everything. So, above all, we do acts of service in the name of the Necharu. Do not forget to give monetary tithes and offerings to ensure the well-being of your spiritual leaders, elders, and spiritual organizations that pour into you. Make sure that your righteous teachers are not poor, naked, homeless, unsafe, and starving. The cowrie was upside down. Yes, please. Please. I was just having this conversation today with Dr. Happy. We are really not trying to go out here like this. We've had too many of our elders go out of here poor, broke, and broken. We're really not trying to go out here like that. We are not going out like that. We are not going out like that. Y'all, bless us. Bless us. Okay? Yes. Protocols, tolerance, eclectic individual intellectualism. But this is the year for extremes to be pulled in. It must be about the village. Avoid people who engage in divisive gossip or who work against the community for selfish gains or from childish insecurity. There is great danger in hoarding and hoarders from those who are stashing and pretending to be in need while they are secretly extorting and exploiting. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've seen too many people who are pretending that they don't have it. Oh, good Lord! I'm telling you. Listen, I was in relationships with three individuals where married to two, pretending they didn't have any money. It turned out they had all this money. Want to give some to your wife, right? Yeah. Um, that's like dangerous. That is dangerous. That's scary dangerous. You're in a relationship with your wife and then you're sitting on thousands and thousands of dollars and pretending you don't have any. That's again back to what Hey P said about who you partner with. Okay? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Um, this is a 7 year. Okay. Seven in the Kemetic language is Sefek. Okay, and so that is Sefek Abi. Sefek Abi is another name for Seshat. All right. Now, Sefek Abi, Seshat, she's tied into your destiny. But that means she's also tied in then also to your karma. So this is a big karma year too. So that's I'm telling you, that's why I'm getting all my stuff together. Making sure listen, yes. Because I don't want this. I don't want the smack back. All right. Because I know I've had a lot of grace extended to me because of the fact that I was sick and because I was in relationships where I was really, listen, because I've given, listen, when you give your heart, right, and and so you have a lot of grace extended to you. But now I'm aware of that, and so now I'm doing everything I can to fix everything that I can. Okay, so you don't take grace for granted ever, right? But you also know this is the way that it goes. When people do dirt, it comes. Yeah. So welcome Chicago, Royal Jackson. Welcome. So yeah, this is not even a thing where you have to push. This is not. Mm-mm. You just worry about getting your stuff together and doing things the right way. Because those who do dirt, who have done dirt to you, will get theirs. Trust and believe. Just do the right thing. Okay? Get your stuff together, do the right thing, and energetically everything will come into place against those. And the thing that you don't want to do is sit back and wring your hands and say, I can't wait. I can no, because it's not right either. Okay, you just focus on living your life the right way. Okay, because it's a 7 year, that means that you want to make sure that you are perfectly aligned. This is a year um, true alignment. Now, going back to what we were saying about um, about um, um, Satit, and particularly about Anket. Anket, in particular, especially because the fact that she works with KP. They work together like that's the that's she's the key. She's the key with P. All right, just like in Orisha tradition, Ogun works um, um, with Ogun works with Ogun works with, I never did it yet. Please forgive me. The archer Ogun works with, help me here, y'all. Ogun works with Ogun Ochosi, yes, Ochosi, yes. Ogun works with Ochosi. Okay. The thing is, though, with Ochosi, look, okay, you might be able to sort of bribe Ogun, but with Ochosi, mm-mm, no. It's the same thing with what you can't bribe, but actually you can't bribe, or you can't wheedle KP, you can't wheedle. See, with this triad, with the triad of Canoe and um, NAP. No, with Canoe, Satet, Anket, there is no wiggling, none. And actually, it's more than the triad. You got this is a Hey P year, okay? So you got Hey P, you got Kenemu, you got Satet, you got Anket, and Heket. Those five, mm-mm. That's the Justice Five. There is no chance. If you're not right, if you have done wrong, there is no mercy. Mm-mm. 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 The only way out is uh, what's the word? Um, Asking for mercy. I mean, and from a sincere place, regret. The only way out is you got paid a piper. I mean, and that's not bribery either. That's just, I mean, you really got to have some. Hey, it's, you did dirt. You did some serious dirt, and there's no way around it. It's, what can I say? So, no, you're right. You're right, Tess. It's not a pleasant way out. You do something. It's just like, it says in the Bible, touch not. They always say, touch not God's. Well, they say in the church, touch not God's anointed. It's like that. If you have somebody who's been really, in a situation, this is how it works, especially if you're dealing with somebody who's a water person. Especially if you're dealing with somebody who is um, a child of Kenamu. You mess up, and somebody who's been really good to you, okay, and there's a scripture in the book of Amenem Apet that talks about when you have um, really really messed up, and then Kenamu turns his back on you. Kenamu turns his back. That's it. That's it. So anyway, and in that case, that's when you are, sometimes, because ultimately what you want is this. Ultimately on our planet, what you want is this. You want for everyone to come to a place of elevation. You want everyone to come to a place of awakening and healing. Ultimately that's what you want. It doesn't always work out that way though. You know, you have people who are so arrogant. Like when you deal with narcissists, we come back to this narcissist conversation all the time. When you deal with narcissists who just think they're above the law, who think they can do what they want, who just don't see that what they've done, they don't see the harm that they've done to somebody else, and just think that they can just keep doing it over and over and over again. They're on to the next victim, right? Those are the ones who are a danger to society, And so, I mean, that's what prisons are for, right? I mean, that's what their prisons and insane asylums for. But ultimately, what you really want is for people to come to a place of awakening. But realistically, that doesn't happen. So that's why we have locks on our doors. You know what I mean? That's why you have guardians with arrows, and so. Right, every being has to protect their home, yeah. Because everybody ain't right, okay? Everybody is not right. So, okay, back to the oracle. And where did it go? Oh, that page just closed up. Any questions so far? Queen Mother Imakhu, why do I keep getting those bad types in my life that has had my PTSD all the time and can't accept me? Um, well, I mean, that's a situation where you'd have to keep working on that on yourself two ways. One, you might need to keep going to therapy. Two, you might have to keep working on your vibration. I mean, I'm listen, I have PTSD too. I do. I got diagnosed 2 years ago because I had such severe trauma from my last relationship. And so I realized I needed to severely heal. Um, Charmaine had an affair. Mushila, it's good to see you here. Um, I had to severely heal from that, and it's something I'm still working on because the fact that you deal with patterns, especially if you keep getting the same kind of person. Um, and Reverend Whitehawk, it's good to see you. Yeah, so yeah, you have to keep working on yourself. You know, you can't change the other person, and if you keep attracting the same person, then you got to work on yourself. I mean, that's what I realized. I had to work on myself. You know, and if you keep having these triggers, then you got to change. You know, I recently saw what I was doing because I have a high threshold for tolerating crazy, a very high threshold. Especially as a minister, I was really um, accepting it. Thank you, Dominique. Thank you. And thank you for being here, Dominique. Thank you. So I had to check myself. And there were some things I recognized with this, with this, you know, because I help a lot of artists in the area. And so I saw a couple of things. I said, wait, oh, stop. I told myself, stop. This is where I got myself hemmed up before. Stop right here. I put the brakes on. I told my therapist. She was proud of me. Yeah. Because if it's a pattern, you have to learn a new pattern. You have to check yourself or you wreck yourself, you know? And it's a feeling in your body, also in your mind. You have to retrain how you think about something. And you have to tell yourself you don't have to put up with this. I'm telling you, body, mind, and soul, you have to retrain every aspect, every aspect. And you have to say no to some things. When it comes to other people and this stuff, no, no, no. Mm-mm. Yeah, see, that's a good thing, yeah. Yeah, isolate yourself. I like being alone. I love being alone. It's a good thing. Hmm. That's right. And even when they try to put the guilt on you and try to make it feel like it's your responsibility to deal with their um, stuff. Mm-mm, no. Especially like, no, I work too hard to get myself okay. All right. And to get out of and away from this other stuff. And I'm not going back. No. No. Yes, what Sheila said, self-care, self-love and self-care is essential. It's absolutely essential. I'm finally back to being in my own spot. You know what I realized today? I have not been in my own spot in 9 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It feels so good. Just me and my cat. I'm cool. Finally have peace. And not in a spot that I shared with somebody else with all this drama. No. No. My spot. No drama. Quiet, peaceful. No issues. Only ones I let cross my threshold are people who are not bringing any drama with me. And almost had to deal with somebody else's drama. I checked that too. I was like, oh, you doing what in my house? Oh no, you ain't coming back here. No. Mm-mm. Nope. Peace. At 62, it's nice. It's nice. Yeah. Having a therapist and having a good therapist, a wonderful therapist, is so essential. You know, because you can chart your progress. Have someone who knows you. Thank you for that. Thank you, Tess. Back to the reading. Okay, the shot. Let me see. Any questions? Any questions so far? And by the way, you can sign up for classes, and also if anybody wants to have a consultation, please go to. Now I changed all of these. The gem.org. Now is a great time to book a consultation. It's always good to get one once a year, just to kind of check in with yourself. So just to continue, there are Kemetic scriptures. There's more. There are more details as well. If you go to the website, uh, you'll see that there are details regarding grief and how you can turn that into joy. Also, listening. Listening is very important this year. Don't spend so much time talking. Take the time and listen. It's depicted by an animal ear, and animals are very sensitive. You know, I am so amazed how my cat will be in the other room, in the back of the house, and I'll be here in the front in the kitchen, and I will just take down his, I'll take down his bag of food, and very carefully, and all of a sudden he's in the front of the house. Listen, Sejemen, listen. But this also means to listen on other realms as well. Listen for the messages from your ancestors. Listen from your spirit crew and see what they have to say. Listen, listen, listen. Also, listen when it comes to resources, the earth, okay? The Geb, that's the earth and its resources, and also to the community to see what might be available that would be of benefit to you. Also, there are Kemetic scriptures that are on the page. Do not speak hastily lest you give offense. Do not say right away what comes out of your heart. More of that listening. And also the scriptures from the book of Pebor. And then Seshat, she speaks specifically. Shall I be eminent and meet favor in 2023 is the question. And answer, be just in your dealings. Trust divine providence for advancement. So, Seshat works with my eight, and she will not tolerate any misuse or manipulations of her gifts of the mind, sciences, systems, arts, or anything under her domain. Her goal is to bring balance. So, the remedy. Offer praises to Hapi by saying, Duau Hapi. Many thanks to Hapi. Study the 7 Kemetic universal laws of success from the Kabbalion, and I'll be going through that throughout this year. I didn't get to do that last year. Okay, so 2023 will be a Sefek year, like I said, a 7 year. So application of the 7 laws will be helpful. And so manifestation, devotion, protocols, community are emphasized. Immersive study and practice of the Shenu Kemetic Yoga, emphasize incorporating the corresponding poses, meaning there's a pose for HP, there's a pose for Seshat, yes. And practice self-discipline. Sacrifice now yields rewards later. Honor the Hetep tablet. Sacrificial offerings yield rewards later. Remain faithful to your faith, your religion, your spiritual practice. So whatever that is for you, be consistent and faithful in it, okay? Now is not the time to abandon it. Recommit yourself to your path. Get rooted and grounded. Reading the Kemetic scriptures from the books of Ankh-Shashanki and Pebor. They serve as reminders of the messages from Hapi and Seshat and what we should be particularly mindful of this year in order to be successful in 2023. Okay, there ends the reading. So, does anyone have any questions? My lips are so dry. The heat is up a little high. Everyone good? This is my cash app. If anybody wants to be generous tonight. Also, if you would like to order my new book, you can go to oh yeah, I've had some music playing. Still playing around with this new format that they have here. I'm very happy that they've updated things here for Restream. You know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and so they've made some changes here that have been very good. So okay, so I'm very glad that okay, this is back in. Good, thanks. All right, so I thank you all for being here for the first official night back on the broadcast and the service. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up on the website. And um, oh, my book is over there. This year is going to be a good year. We're going to make it a good year. In spite of the challenges that we're told, we know that it's going to be what we make it. And so we're going to decide now. It's going to be a good year. Yes. So thank you all for being here. And why is that? Okay. All right. Divine Limitless Creator, Divine Nature, Divine Imakhu, Divine Shepsu, we thank you so much for this evening, and we ask for your blessings and your protection. Let the angels we go into this night, into our dream state. We ask for you to protect us, and we ask for all of our guardians to protect us into this night and into the next day. Many blessings for everyone here. To all, to all. All right, have a wonderful evening, everyone. Much love. Much, amen. Amen.